Hey, John, can you come in here? Hey, what's up, Neil? You got a new game for us to work on? Absolutely. I was thinking we could remaster Uncharted 4 and 5. I just think those games are, to be honest, they're kind of old. They're ugly. I don't like them. Hold on. Remaster two of the most gorgeous looking games to this day. Why? Well, like I said, there's some ugly motherfuckers, so... I'm gonna be honest, Neil, that seems like a bit of a cash grab to me. No. It's not a cash grab.
Fuck, it may actually kind of be a cash grab, isn't it?
We'll sell it like $10 for people who already paid $60 for the game. Fine, but then maybe can we make like an actual new game? Absolutely, John. John! Yo, what's up, Neil? Just finished the Uncharted remaster. What's next, boss? So you know we got that big Last of Us show coming? Yeah? And you know how ugly The Last of Us Part 1 is? Like, just so horrendously ugly, it makes me want to throw up. God damn it, Neil. Again? Whoa, hey, language, buddy. Neil, The Last of Us 1 is a gorgeous game. And this looks like this is a cash grab. This is what this looks like. So what's the reason for this one? I just want to make sure that people are getting the best experience since it's going to be a lot of people's first time playing this masterpiece. And it's kind of ugly. Again, kind of like Uncharted 4, ugly. And, you know, I was thinking we could just take out factions mode and, yeah, PC, baby. We're coming to PC so they can finally experience this game all for $70. So let me get this straight. Full $70. No factions, and PC players can finally experience this masterpiece. Why not just take the remaster and port that to PC, so they also get factions? No, we can't do that. Why not? Game's ugly. Oh my god. Okay, fine. John! Neil, if this is another remaster... No, I promise. Totally new idea, this, I swear. I promise. Oh, thank god. Okay. Let's hear it. So I was thinking, Last of Us 2, pretty ugly, right? And, if we just did a quick remaster... Oh my fucking god, Neil! I'm not doing this shit again! But 60 frames per second, John! What's up, you fantastic, wonderful people? Remakes and remasters. Am I right? I am. There's no denying that we are currently in an era of gaming where remakes and remasters are super common. I mean, just look at the big games that have come out so far in 2024. And can we remove the original games? Yikes. This doesn't just go for 2024 though. Ever since a new generation of consoles and even before, it seems like we're getting a remake or a remaster every month. And oh boy, they are not stopping. Please God, make them stop. Everyone likes to sit there and hate when a new remake or remaster comes out, but honestly, sometimes they can be the optimal way for a new generation of gamers to experience a beloved game for the first time. But sometimes you have the people who go, oh, it's lazy, oh, it's unnecessary, why did this game need a remake, it's a cash grab. And sometimes it's absolutely the case, we will get into that, I promise you. Sometimes they actually are just the optimal way to experience a game. Remakes are just like humans though. Some are good, some are bad. Let's start with what's the difference. To some this may be obvious, but I'd really quickly just want to make the distinction for people who might be watching that don't know what the difference is, and that's okay. Papa Slosh is here for you. I don't even know if the mic picked that up, but remasters, these are more low effort on the spectrum of re-releases. In a remaster, you'll make simple quality of life changes that make the player experience better. You'll have the same game, the same assets, nothing big generally changes, but maybe, you know, it's in HD now, or it's not locked to 30 frames per second anymore, or they add the ability to turn off motion blur because it ruins your games. Seriously, why do game companies do this? Fuck the cinematic bullshit in games, but that's besides the point. Nothing big will change, but generally to a new player, you'll have a better time experiencing the remaster. Keyword there is generally. Keyword. In a remake, this is where you're literally rebuilding the game, so the quality of the meter, whatever I called it, goes way up. This means you have the ability to fundamentally change the game. Like a good example is the Resident Evil 2 remake. However, recently we've seen more and more remakes that are relatively the same game, just with a massive graphical overhaul like The Last of Us Part 1 or Demon's Souls. Remakes are the ones that can really put more life into a game and make it the definitive way to experience the game. Generally. keyword there being generally. As I said previously, a good remake should strive to just kill off the original version, like brutally and violently. Make it suffer. No, but it should make people not want to ever go back to the original version because the new version is just so much better. The best example I can think of in recent memory is a game like Resident Evil 2 Remake. The original Resident Evil 2 is so fucking awfully shitty. Stupid ass graphics, stupid ink ribbon system to save, the 8 goddamn inventory slots? Are you serious? Fast forward to 2019 when the Resident Evil 2 Remake drops and no stupid ink ribbons, fantastic graphics, and you know what the best part is? More inventory. Damn, was that hard? It's not even like that much more inventory to the point where you wonder why they even made inventory a system. It's actually manageable and somewhat difficult now still. Unless you're a neckbeard on Reddit trying to defend those stupid ass tank controls, you're probably in the same boat swimming as fast as you can away from the original Resident Evil 2. That's because they fundamentally remade the game and made it the definitive way to experience the game. It even achieved a Game of the Year nomination for this, which I get is a lot of people don't know if remakes and remasters should be up for a Game of the Year nomination because it's kind of in this weird spot where it like is a new game, but like it isn't, and it's a bit weird. To me, if a remake changes the game as much as like a Resident Evil 2 remake does, hell yeah, it should be nominated because it's such a new game, it's unrecognizable from the original. But hey, that's just my 2 quick cents, and my opinion doesn't matter, so I don't know. Some other examples that I think are remakes that absolutely destroyed the original are Shadow of the Colossus, the Ratchet and Clank remake, the Final Fantasy VII remake, I cannot wait for Rebirth, the Resident Evil 4 remake, and even the Dead Space remake, which that game doesn't change the game as much as like a RE2 remake or a Final Fantasy VII remake, but it's insane how much better graphics can improve a game that's so tied to atmosphere. So now a remaster should try to kill the original version still, but maybe not as brutally. Maybe it like puts it to bed with a nice like bat swing or some shit. I don't know. It should be an upgrade for the massive fans to have a quality of life improvement and then just make it an easier time to access for newcomers. If the newcomers don't have to deal with the same bullshit that the original players who played it back when it first came out did, you did a good job. Generally. Take Dark Souls 1. Remember Blighttown on the PS3 and Xbox 360? This was such a bullshittingly hard part of the game, not just because it was hard. It's a hard game. It's gonna be hard, but because it ran at like 10 frames a second. This is really fucking awful in a game that's all about reaction time and quick, precise movements. The original Blighttown on PS3 led to a lot of gamers' TVs meeting an unfortunate and untimely demise. And it also led to a lot of lost good boy points in the fridge because you said one too many bad boy words there, Jimmy. Jump onto the PS4 and whoa, this game actually runs at 60 frames per second? I can actually beat this game? It's a quality of life improvement for the fans and an unsung hero for the newcomers. A lot of remasters will also take the liberty to just include all the DLC with the game, so you don't have to scroll through a ton of Reddit threads trying to figure out if that's actually a DLC level or if it's just a cosmetic pack. The Last of Us Remastered is a great example of this. Fixes the performance, ups the resolution, gets rid of some bugs, and it includes the Left Behind DLC, all for $10 less than it was on the PS3. I'm sold. Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection is another great one. Tomb Raider, the definitive edition, banger, does a great job for a remaster. I made fun of it in the beginning, but The Last of Us 2 remaster I actually think is really awesome for fans of the series. You get an extra no return roguelike mode, you get new cosmetics, making of stuff, overall improvements like 60 frames per second, all for $10. Hell, sign me up. That's just a good deal for mega fans. The problem is not all remakes and remasters achieve this goal as well as these war veteran champions behind me, because there's also a very dark, a very greedy, a very scummy side to remakes and remasters. Or maybe just plain arrogance. Bad remakes do the exact opposite of the good remakes. Can you believe it? Well, I don't believe a bad remake can ruin the original game. I do believe it can tarnish its reputation for sure. I recommend if your favorite game gets a remake, a shitty remake, just try to push it out of your memory as much as you can. Sort of like you did when you pushed the memory of your father out of your brain after he left to go get milk and never came back after you expressed your love for some anime girl. I miss you, Dad. Because at the end of the day, The original game is still there. It's just as good as it always was. What are you talking about? They remade GoldenEye. That never happened. The worst type of remake is when the companies are clearly just exploiting gamers' nostalgia for their favorite game to make an extra buck or two. I just mentioned a lot of Naughty Dog remakes and remasters that I did like. You want to know something Naughty Dog did that I really don't like? This. What the fuck is this? On paper, a Last of Us remake sounds like a really good idea, and I totally get it on paper. For starters, we had the show coming out soon after the remake, and you know, a lot of people are going to want to go back and check out the game, and a remake is a great way to do that. Especially if they want to go back and check it out in its best, most purest form. You could play The Last of Us Remastered, but ooh, look at the shiny new remake! Look at the shiny new remake! Don't you want to play that? $70. Also, the fact that they were putting it on PC for the first time means a whole wide new variety of players are going to be able to experience such a good masterpiece of a game. There was a ton of people who were mad that the game came on such a broken state on PC because they were waiting for so long for it to come out on PC so they could experience it themselves and not watch a playthrough. Sadly, it took them like 6 months to be able to actually play the game because it was unplayable for a bit, but hey, you know what? You tried. Not to mention, The Last of Us is one of the most critically and commercial successes of all time, with a huge fan base of players. For a business, I totally get why you'd want to remake this. I was also excited for the remake until I played the remake and realized this is as lazy of a remake as remakes get. I do think it is the better way to experience the story for the first time, obviously. I mean, it's better graphics and stuff. It's just for people going back, I don't know if it's actually worth it. The graphics are supreme. The speedrunning mode is arguably the best in video games. The insane adaptability features they brought over from part 2, insane. You know what's not insane? Why is factions mode gone? Because it would have taken too much effort? I guess you could say, oh, well, they have a full-fledged multiplayer game coming down the line, so maybe they just didn't want factions to step on that at any means, but, not anymore. Why are none of the gameplay mechanics from part 2 there, like going prone or dodging? Because it would have taken too much effort to remap the fighting arenas, to add some tall grass or whatever you need to add to actually make those features usable in the game. It's a gorgeous remake, but they just don't make the quality of life improvements that a great remake needs to make. They just took the remaster, ripped off the multiplayer, slapped on a new coat of makeup, and then had the audacity to make players pay a full $70. It's making it $70 that really pissed me off, or $100 for the deluxe edition. And they did this because they knew people like me and other mega fans of the series would buy the games. And they thought, right, because I did buy it. I bought it twice, actually. I bought it on PS5 for $70, and then I bought the $100 Firefly edition for Steam that I wasn't able to play for 6 months.
So I've decided to kill myself.
The Last of Us Part 1 is the worst kind of remake because it feels like such an effortless cash grab. The game is a 10 out of 10 still, but the remake is like a 0 out of 10 because it literally did nothing to make the game any better except slap a new coat of paint on it. But at least, I guess it didn't make it any worse. Because that's when a remake gets really bad. Ironically, when I think Resident Evil 2 is one of the best remakes of all time, Resident Evil 3 is one of probably the worst, or I was about to say the worst. It's not the worst, but it is one of the weaker remakes of all time. The presentation is just as beautiful as the former, but it felt like they rushed it to capitalize on the success of the predecessor. It has a super short and rushed story that is actually missing content. I think I actually never beat the original Resident Evil 3, so I don't know if it is missing content, but I saw it on Reddit, so it must be true. But thanks to that, it just feels like a cash grab that is sort of undermining to the original game. And that's the worst type of remaster. That's when you just want to, tuck it to bed and just, pull the plug and hope it never wakes up. What about bad remasters, though? I feel like we get a lot more bad remasters than we do remakes, because there generally is a lot more love and care put into a remake than a remaster. A remaster is a much faster way. Remember, low effort. You just pump it out in HD and call it a day, but then the game releases with like 5,000 bugs, and you're sitting there like, what the hell, man? This game should be able to run on a Raspberry Pi. Remember the GTA Trilogy remaster? I probably don't need to say any more than that. But I will. Not only did the game release with so many bugs that even people tripping on acid, aka the people of Twitter, were calling it out for being buggy, but they removed the original versions from Steam. You couldn't buy the original versions, and if this was a fantastic remake, why would you? But, It's not. Remasters should always be the definitive way to play the game, but when it's not, and you're trying to push that memory out of your head like your father, it's kind of hard to do that when you don't have the original fucking game anymore. To quickly name some others that I think are shit, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, not even really a remaster, more of just a port, but still, why the fuck would you put a timestamp on the thing? Silent Hill HD was buggy like GTA and it was just meant to siphon money out of fans' nostalgia. Warcraft 3 Reforged, oh my god, I didn't even talk about Warcraft 3 Reforged. Warcraft 3 Reforged could have a whole fucking video just based about it. There's plenty of videos just based about it. It might just be the king of shitty remasters. Missing gameplay features and deleting the original game? But Sloshy, why didn't you make a bigger portion on it? Shh. Because fuck you. As previously mentioned, the future of remakes is not slowing down. We have reached a point where remakes of games could be using a remake. Just imagine a world where you walk into GameStop and you're buying Alan Wake Remastered Remade. Just in this month, we have the Tomb Raider Remastered Trilogy and the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is a remake. Earlier this year, we got The Last of Us 2 Remastered. Later this year, we're getting Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. We're getting Silent Hill 2 Remake. We're getting Paper Mario The 10,000 Year Door. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. And then later on into the year, there's Max Payne 1 and 2, The Witcher, and a ton of others are getting remade that are confirmed. So don't expect to stop seeing remakes anytime soon, people, because they will keep coming and coming as long as people keep buying and buying, which we do. However, you know what the biggest crime in a world where we are getting a Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons remake is? The fact that the game with arguably the best twist ending of all time, and the game that had the most lasting impact on me as a child, a game which is still landlocked to the PS3. What game am I talking about? What beautiful, majestic piece of media that hasn't been remade yet? Or hell, I don't even need a remake. Just port the fucking thing over to PS5 so I don't have to pull out my PS3 to play it every time I want to play it. Infamous 1 and 2. You gotta have both. It's a package deal. Stupid Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, which is just a fucking remake, but yet Infamous can't even get a port to new gen consoles, sucker punch? Get your act straight. I'm fine, okay? It's fine. I'm not fine.